everybody. It's the Punchie TV show. I'm Bill, and I'm hosting today, and, you know, lots of stuff going on. There's always lots of stuff going on. I guess we're going to be dealing with more tech stuff today. And, you know, let's just get right to it. A lot of tech stuff. Yeah. It's time to... Why is it time to turn off? Is it time to turn off all the robots? Yeah, producer, where do you... Anyway, all right, let's play the first one. Oh, wow.
今年是非常的变化非常大
Ugly things, aren't
非
they?
常激动啊！第一次超越了人类，这是没有敢想象。第二，我认为就是队伍，他们在整个的这个无论是形态、我们的机器人的表现上，还是下了大功夫。
基本它在设计之初的话
Well, is that the winner? I'm not sure. So what we got here is in China, there's like a half marathon race.
会基于我们人类优秀的这个运动员去做到0.95米的大长腿。对，然后这是我们外观上一个非常大的一个改进和设计。然后其次的话，我们同时还会有一些对应的非常强大的液冷系统。对，这些也是基本上是公司自研的一些能力。
I don't know. I mean, they look like what they look like. That's pretty cool. But, you know, I don't think of it as all that big a deal. I mean, they're like literally made, you know, some of them, the way they're made, they can barely stand, but they can run for 13 miles. Great. You know, battery technology is getting better, and they're fine, you know. I don't know. I don't think of it as a big deal. But it's a lot better. You know, all these machines are getting much better right now than they were in the last decade. And the time before then, it was nothing like how they are right now. So time marches on. And, you know, more and more. I'm just going to show you some more stuff. Let's go to the next one. Everybody loves flying cars.
For most people, the idea of getting around on a flying car seems possible only in the distant future. But in China, that reality may not be so far away. The government is encouraging the growth of what it calls the low-altitude economy, aircraft that fly below 1,000 meters. This EHang electric vehicle is the first in the world to be certified by a national aviation authority for commercial use.
With the gradual popularization of low-altitude flights, this type of air taxi will become widespread. It will become a daily mode of transportation, a lifestyle to enjoy.
It takes off and lands vertically, no runway required. And in this case, no pilot. That means I can try it myself. The interior is simple, 2 seats and a navigation screen. The route is pre-programmed. In case of emergency, there's a button I can press to communicate with the operators on the ground, and a small fire extinguisher. But before I could ask about a parachute, here we go! I was...
Well, I guess this is getting started, huh? We're going to have people flying around up above our heads, and, well, now you have to worry about something falling on your house or falling on you from the sky. Oh, well, whatever.
Oh! We're going up. Going up. I'm not going to look down. I'm just, am I going to look down? Ah! This air taxi can travel at speeds of up to 90 kilometers an hour for 130 kilometers. It's quite a view, but a little unnerving not having controls. The company says automation reduces accidents caused by human error. But if you prefer to drive,
I'll try to teach you how to fly this in less than a minute.
there are other options. The firm AirRidge is waiting for regulatory approval for its land aircraft carrier, which can be automated or controlled using a driving stick. The flying vehicle is stored and transported inside this van, the ground unit.
That looks like another vehicle that we have.
Store it in your own personal parking space. You can drive it with your own personal passenger driving license to, say, some scenic sites, and you can charge it, use this ground unit to charge the aircraft for up to 6 times, so you can fly freely without worrying about the infrastructure.
And the cost? One of these will set you back $300,000 to $400,000. So far, EHang's biggest customers are tourism companies and governments using them for policing and...
Wow, only $300,000 to $400,000. That's not bad. It's like not $1 million or something for the thing. Just imagine the air traffic control that has to be dealt with, you know, if you have a lot of these things flying around over your head. If something fails, they'll be running into each other and then falling on the top of your house. Well, you know, just something that has to be taken care of.
And firefighting. But experts say this is just the beginning. As long as you can conquer your fear of heights, the sky's the limit. Katrina Yu, Al Jazeera, Hefei, China.
We did it! We did it!
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news.
That's pretty cool. I don't know where that's going to go, you know. Yeah, I don't know. Well, okay, we're starting to have stuff flying around. The stuff has to be, I don't know, it has to have good backup systems and run very reliably because, you know, unlike on the ground, if something goes out in the air, if you have a major failure, well, you're dead. Even on the ground, you know, you're flying, you're going fast on the freeway or something like that, and you have a major failure in certain systems, you might be dead. But in the air, it's more certain. But, you know, things are starting to move in that direction. We have too many rules over here right now, so things will have to be a little more... Things will have to be a little more together before we have it going over here. That happened over here in the U.S. But, you know, it'll get there. All right, let's go to the next one.
Good evening, I'm Bill Malugin, and this is your Fox News Report. Vice President J.D. Vance is heading back to Pakistan for a new round of peace talks this week. President Trump says extending the ongoing ceasefire is, quote, highly unlikely. He's threatening to, quote, knock out all power plants in Iran if there is no deal. Now, on Sunday, the U.S. Navy seized an Iranian-flagged ship for trying to get past the American blockade near the Strait of Hormuz. Tim Cook is stepping down as Apple's CEO after nearly 15 years.
All right.
John Turnus, the head of hardware engineering, will be the one replacing him. Cook will take on a new role as Apple's executive chairman in September.
Okay, was that it? What, producer, was that it? All right, so it's... Oh. All right. Apple CEO not removed? He wasn't removed. He just stepped down. You know, he's been there too long. He figures he wants to do something else with the rest of his life rather than be running Apple. We'll see how this works out. I mean, these people have, like, CEOs have a measurable effect as far as, you know, steering things with these companies and steering how they go, you know. I think Tim Cook was more of a hardware guy, and I think the guy who he has replacing him is more of a hardware guy. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how that's going to work out. Well, I don't know who the guy who's replacing him. Sometimes these people are too much about hardware and, you know, less about the user experience, which is, Apple is all about the user experience. Even though at the moment, I mean, the user experience has gone, I don't know, it's like over the top because everything has so much functionality that it's maybe too much functionality. It's in effect less user friendly because it's so functional. But I don't know. We'll see how this goes in the next chapter in Apple. We'll see how it's going to affect all of us and on the planet and humanity itself. All right, let's go to the next one, producer.
We're back with our interview with Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. Duffy told our senior transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve that AI technology is not going to replace air traffic controllers, but it sure could help them, he argued, along with everyone else who flies.
The build is happening.
That build starts with $12 billion to modernize air traffic control, with upgrades now underway to radios, radars, and safety systems. The next step, an AI system merging airlines' flight schedules with FAA systems to cut airport delays.
This software will say, well, listen, we can see this 45 days out. Let's move some of those flights a little bit, and so then you're not delayed.
But Congress still needs to pay for it. The software has a possible price tag of $6 to $10 billion.
When people hear AI, they either get really excited or really concerned. How do you ensure that the AI system is right all the time and is secure and ready for prime time?
AI is a tool, but we do not replace humans in how we manage the airspace. Am I going to replace a controller and have AI manage the airspace? The answer to that is hell no, that's not going to happen.
The push for funding comes amid a number of high-profile incidents involving apparent air traffic control mistakes, including the deadly collision at LaGuardia last month.
We have human beings navigating, managing the airspace. And as human beings, we can make mistakes. That's why I want to give additional tools to support the air traffic controllers.
This morning, the president instructed DOT to consider Spirit Airlines' request for a government bailout.
But the question will be, does the federal government step in and bail out an airline that for a very long time hasn't been run well?
Is the department prepared to bail out other airlines that start to struggle?
Well, that's the question. Then who?
Well, I think he's right about that. I mean, why would we? He's just talking about whether they'll bail out this airline or not. And, if something's run not well, then why bail it out? It's just a waste of money, waste of our money, taxpayer money. The other thing, the main thing, which is, they're going to add AI into air traffic control. You see, it's the start of the flying car, because they're going to have AI powered air traffic control if they want to have, lots of cars running all over, flying and not running into each other through the skies. So it's starting. Right, and the other thing is, that's also, what was it, the DEI stuff? Producer, you mentioned DEI. The DEI stuff, DEI traffic controllers, get replaced with AI. It's just like burger flippers get replaced by robots. And that's just how it rolls. That's what you get for upping the prices and stuff. It just suddenly becomes cheaper to go and build some robots and other stuff to replace you, and you get replaced. And the world goes on. All right, let's go to the next one.
For decades, fusion energy, the process that powers the sun, has been one of science's greatest opportunities. Cracking it would give us a safe, clean, and virtually unlimited source of power.
All right, this is marketing.
Controlling plasma hotter than the sun's core means solving physics so complex that even the fastest supercomputers struggle to simulate it. At the forefront of this effort, General Atomics researchers and international partners at the D3D National Fusion Facility are using AI to push fusion research forward. The team is building a fully interactive digital twin of the D3D tokamak inside NVIDIA Omniverse. It fuses sensor data, physics simulations.
So, I mean, so they're making a virtual version of the tokamak, or this big project where it's basically a fusion reactor, but not a useful, useful for research fusion reactor. We have no good fusion reactors yet because they do fusion, but it takes more energy. You put more energy in to get some energy out. You know, if you put 10 times as much energy in, if you put, I don't know, if you put 100 million watts in to get 10 million watts out, it just isn't worth it. And they really haven't, you know. They're working on it, but and at some point, I guess if things scale up big enough, maybe it will actually be worth it, and it'll actually finally start making some energy, but and get it over this hurdle. But they're nowhere near it. But they may be able to. It may help, you know. This. Oh, by the way, they can't really simulate. They can try to simulate it, but simulations are just simulations. But if they work on it, maybe they'll get close.
Engineering and AI models. Creating a virtual reactor that can quickly inform decisions. Key controls can be explored in the digital twin to refine the science before running real experiments. These surrogate models, trained on decades of real-world datasets and running on NVIDIA GPUs, deliver accurate predictions at unprecedented speed.
I don't know about accurate predictions.
This is a platform to optimize reactor designs, accelerate commercial fusion, and make the sun's power programmable.
Yeah, maybe they will. That is marketing. But you know, if they get if they get the right information, they get the equations right, at some point they'll figure out how big and what they need to scale it up to where they'll finally start making more energy coming out than they're putting in. But they're not there yet. And things, Mark, you know, they've always said it'll be like 20 years away, and still maybe same thing they're probably saying is 20 or 30 years away. But we still got our fusion reactors. Not fusion, fission reactors. Excuse me. All right, let's go to the next one.
Well, just in time for summer, health leaders are keeping a close eye on a new highly mutated COVID strain already circulating in California and has the potential to spread rapidly. NBC Bay Area's Jocelyn Moran is live in San Francisco. And Jocelyn, what do we know about this variant and what are doctors worried about?
Well, Gia, the variant is called cicada, nicknamed after the insect because of its ability to go away for a period of time and reemerge. Now, with it circulating in California, health experts are concerned that it could spread at a time when not a lot of people are vaccinated. A highly mutated COVID strain circulating in California has health leaders on high alert. Cicada was first identified in South Africa in late 2024, but didn't make it to the U.S. until last June, when a traveler from the Netherlands landed at SFO.
But it kind of went into hibernation and kind of started to pick up action, I would say, in the last few weeks. With more states, more than 20 states.
UCSF infectious disease specialist Dr. Peter Chin-Hong says cicada has been detected in wastewater in the Bay Area, though it's not prevalent, at least not yet. Dr. Chin-Hong points out that in 2024 and 2025, the U.S. saw more COVID cases in the summer compared to the winter.
And this very
Isn't that interesting? More COVID cases in the summer than in the winter. Anyway. It's different.
Mutated version could certainly make its rounds to when we are both immunologically more vulnerable and we get together.
I wonder how dangerous this one is.
And that's the concern, that the cicada variant could spread at a time when some of the most vulnerable may not be up to date with their vaccines.
And I'm particularly worried about those who are 65 and older, because fewer than 30% of that population has gotten a vaccine in the last year.
And again, cases of COVID do remain low, but Dr. Chin-Hong is urging anyone 65 and older who hasn't gotten a vaccine in more than a year to do so. In San Francisco, I'm Jocelyn Moran, NBC Bay Area News.
All right, thank
you. Okay. Well, COVID is still hanging around. The lab-made scourge of the earth. And I don't, good luck with COVID. All right, let's go to the next one.
Under the disastrous Biden administration, this Pentagon waged an unrelenting war on our warriors on many fronts, including when it came to denying them simple medical autonomy and the freedom to express their religious convictions. In other words, our men and women in uniform were forced to choose between their conscience and their country, even when those decisions posed no threat to our military readiness. You know what I'm talking about, what happened, COVID-19 and the vaccine. No more. That era of betrayal is over. Under President Trump, the War Department continues to take decisive action to once again restore freedom and strength to our joint force. We're seizing this moment to discard any absurd, overreaching mandates that only weaken our warfighting capabilities. In this case, this includes the universal flu vaccine and the mandate behind it. The notion that a flu vaccine must be mandatory for every service member everywhere in every circumstance at all times is just overly broad and not rational. Our new policy is simple. If you, an American warrior entrusted to defend this nation, believe that the flu vaccine is in your best interest, then you are free to take it. You should. But we will not force you, because your body, your faith, and your convictions are not negotiable. Your health. It's common sense. It's the kind of common sense approach we're undertaking in this department. Rest assured that under President Trump, the War Department will always honor our brave warriors and do everything we can to restore the American people's trust in their military for generations to come. And that's why I'm proud to sign this new policy.
I don't know. In a way, I mean, it's good, but at the same time, our real problem is that I don't know, something's wrong with the Democrats, and they're not really they're not really real enough to make rational. They're not rational enough to make the rational move, which really in everybody's best interest. And without that, it's going to be one extreme or another. I kind of feel this could be a problem at some point also. But, you know, it's what it is. All right, let's go on to the next one.
We are done running a peacetime science fair while our potential adversaries are running a wartime arms race. The President of the United States and I have the backs of our warfighters. We also have the backs of innovators who share that very same urgency. We will not back down. We will forge the new arsenal of freedom with our partners in industry and the private sector. No one can out-innovate an American entrepreneur who has been liberated from the constraints of stifling bureaucracy. That old era ends today. If not us, if not America, if not the West, then who? And if not now, it will be too late to maintain that advantage. America first in every domain.
Okay. America first. You know, America first is basically, to me, it just means, you know, someone's got to have our back. We're supposed to, you know. It doesn't mean we're not fair, but it just means our leadership is supposed to, you know, have our back, the American people's back first, you know, not be beholden to anybody else. I don't know what's all that stuff about. There's SpaceX stuff. I hear that the military is interested in having some kind of variant of the SpaceX Starship when it gets rolling. So they could, I don't know, transport stuff halfway across the world in probably an hour or two, which is an excellent capability. And you know they're trying to go on to the moon and finally start getting somewhere with all the space stuff, which is pretty cool. We've been trying to get back to going to the moon and doing all the space stuff for the last 50 years, all my life, and it's all been a lot of talk and not much more than that. Or all ended up with just being a lot of talk. All right. And I don't know. I think that's about it, man. What we got? There's more? More, producer? All right. Play the next one.
Diplomatic dilemma. Just hours before the ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran is set to expire. Vice President J.D. Vance expected to head to Pakistan today for peace talks in Islamabad. But with the talks in doubt, he was instead at the White House in a situation a White House official calls fluid. The events contrary to President Trump's optimistic tone about the negotiations in an interview with CNBC today.
When they said they won't send them, I said they'll be sending them. They have no choice but to send them. What I think is that we're going to end up with a great deal.
But Iran never confirmed it would attend talks, despite Pakistan's urging to do so, and amid tight security in Islamabad. Now, Tasnim News, a semi-official Iranian news agency, is reporting that Iran is fully prepared to continue the war. And the president says he's prepared to do the same.
Well, I expect to be bombing because I think that's a better attitude to go in with, but we're ready to go.
Vance's trip change coming just hours after a U.S. military escalation. American forces boarding an oil tanker that the U.S. claims was providing support to Iran in violation of the blockade. President Trump predicted the war would last 4 to 6 weeks, now entering its 8th week. On Capitol Hill, Senate Democrats have tried to rein in the president's ability to go to war until Congress approves. Each time, it's failed. But Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says they will once again force another vote on a war powers resolution tomorrow.
4 times now, Senate Republicans have voted against our War Powers Resolution, and they have surrendered one of Congress's most important responsibilities under the Constitution to Donald Trump.
President Trump has said he does not want to extend the ceasefire, which he says will end tomorrow night. But there's confusion over that, too. Pakistan says the ceasefire ends tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Gary Grumbach, NBC News.
Oh, brother. I don't know. We'll see where that all goes. I don't know. Maybe the Iranians are a bunch of hard-headed people. Who could have figured? Yeah. Let's go on. Play the next one.
You know, we're not dealing with stupid people. You know, it used to be we would have a military, you'd have uniforms here, uniforms there. The one with the most uniforms standing wins the war, right? This is a little different now. Now you're talking about sneaky, dirty, underhanded people that want to kill our civilians. They want to go after our civilians. They want to kill not only our civilians, all over the world. And it's going to be stopped. It's going to be stopped. Somebody criticized me the other day because they asked me what I do, and I said, I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. It's true. I don't care. I don't care. They've got to be stopped.
He is. Yeah, I think he is going to bomb the mess out of them. We'll see. I mean, he's trying to get a deal and not create a huge mess. But, you know, if we got to create a mess, then really create a huge, irreversible mess. He's trying to get some reasonable people over there so he can make a deal, but I don't know. They don't sound too reasonable. So, I mean, I think I saw a clip of him the other day, and he basically, the impression I got from him was he had to yell at, they don't listen until you yell at them. The Iranians basically don't. You have to yell at them to get them to listen, maybe. But, yeah. It'll go where it'll go. Hopefully we have this straightened out. It's not looking as easy as Trump had hoped, that's for sure. And I think the actions of the military have been where they hoped that they would find some reasonable people over there they could make a deal with over in Iran, but, you know, not so far. Let's go to the next one. Why?
What's the next line?
Producer, why?
The wheels on the bus go open and shut.
Are these two buddies?
Open and shut. The doors on the bus go open.
All right, we had enough. I get the idea. Come on. All right, I get enough. We've had enough. All right, I guess that's it for Eclipse, guys. I think that's it, right? All right. All right. Interesting bunch of stuff you got today, producer. I really think the cars thing is, you know, the start of the flying cars here. AI powered, you know, they're going to make partially replace flight controllers with AI. And then the air flight controllers aren't going to be able to control the amount of traffic in the air. So there'll be more and more AI until AI just kind of takes over. I know you all just can't wait. All right, I'm going to take some calls. The number is, what is it again? Producer. It's 888-775-3773. 888-775-3773. And I'm going to take Brian. Brian, you there?
I'm here, Bill.
Hey, Brian.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. What's up?
Not much, man. I wanted to call in and tell you how much I enjoy watching you host the show. I get
Really?
the sense that I do, man. I get the sense you've been telling people how the cow ate the cabbage a long time now.
Oh, kinda.
I was sitting here listening to you. Hey, shout out to the producer too, because I love the concept. It's great, like rapid fire with Bill, and I can see the thumbnail now. It's just like you holding out a stiff jab, and the segment's called like Straight Jabs with Bill.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I don't have a lot to say about. I mean, I guess I'm just looking at it and saying how I see it. You know, I kind of cut things down to the basics.
I love it. There ain't much to say about it, I guess, huh?
Right. Yeah, there's not. I mean, for me, I it's just how I see it. I mean, I think like the car thing right now, the flying cars. Can you wait to have flying cars around, Brian?
I mean, the idea sounds pretty cool.
Right.
I've seen some concepts. I think I've seen some prototypes that they've actually tested out already.
Right. I mean, this stuff that they were showing, they're showing this stuff over in some cities over in China. But I'm just putting it together.
Honda has one, I know.
Yeah, but they're basically like oversized drones, the stuff that they have,
Yeah.
A drone that's big enough for you to go and jump in and fly around in.
Yeah, but if you ask me, like, I don't think the public would ever be ready for something like that.
Really?
On a mass.
There's some that will. There's some people that will.
Oh man, it would be.
They'll be ready for it.
Look at
they'll
traffic
be the early
now.
adopters, and it'll be just like some service by some company. It'll be like, like Iridium was back 20 years ago, and there's like a small bunch of people that can afford to do that, and they'll travel from one part of the city to another, something like that, and it'll be cool. I mean, but over time it'll be, and people will, over, let's say, time horizons of, let's say, 20 years or something like that, these things will be more, they'll be more trustable, and then for that reason, you'll get more and more and more of them. And like I said, you'll have AI probably acting as traffic control. And
so you would buy one?
Exponential, huh?
You're gonna buy one?
I don't know about that. We'll see. I'm not too old.
You're never too old.
Yeah, we all like to think that, but
I'm just messing, Bill. But hey, man, I just wanted to call and tell you I'm enjoying the show, man. And shout out to the producer.
Thank you, Brian.
Sure, this is a great idea.
Right. Thank you for calling in.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right. Bye, Brian.
Hey.
What was that? I lost Brian. Brian was going to say something. I got a partial. All right. James is here.
Got a couple of super chats, y'all.
All right, James.
Over on pill.net/Jesse Lee Peterson, Ball City gifted the cookie only a matter of time before AI feeds on its own hallucinations.
What is that supposed to mean?
You know how AI hallucinates and it makes up stuff? It thinks that something is true because based on the context, it kind of predicts that, oh, this must have happened.
Oh.
And then it starts to feed on these false assumptions.
But, I mean, that's what they're trying to go, and we're trying to make systems that avoids that. I mean, the problem is maybe, is AI going to go and start feeding us hallucinations?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, AI, where AI, we got people making up stuff, making up false pictures of stuff that isn't really happening. You can see how politicians may use AI. The media may use AI to make stuff happen that hasn't really happened and say it's real. I think that kind of stuff is, or hey, how about one of these AIs that figures it's going to go and maybe control all the stuff? There's another idea, like it starts making up stuff and influencing people's opinion.
Indeed.
It could get pretty dark.
Don't fall for it.
We'll try. Well, I don't know. This stuff is getting worse and worse. It'll drag you in. Anyway.
Kale on YouTube says, singing our songs, angry face emoji. Apparently in response to Obama and Mamdani. Barack Obama and this New York City mayor singing The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round to those preschoolers. The black kids.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't relate. I'm too old now. The wheels in the... What was the song?
The wheels on the bus go round and round.
The wheels in the bus go round and round. And round, and then something.
And then round and round.
For a while.
She's still the boss.
Okay. All right.
And thank you, guys. That's all the Super Chats for now.
Wow, we got a couple of Super Chats.
Nice.
Thank you, folks.
Much appreciated.
All right. James, what do you think of the flying car thing?
That thing looked... I'd rather have a helicopter, honestly.
Why? Just like an oversized drone.
Right. And one of those things goes wrong.
No, it's not. It's not one of them goes wrong. It needs a couple of them to go wrong.
Okay.
So that's its safety.
Okay.
Could you pull it back up?
The flying car clip.
Yeah, pull up the flying car clip.
Seemed loud.
But yeah, if the flying car is, you'll see it has like two rotors on each arm, one on top of the other.
Yeah.
And if the idea is if the one on top goes out or the one on bottom goes out, the one above it or the one right next to it can take over. So it can lose any one or two, but if it loses two on the same arm or something like that, I don't know.
Yeah. Like with airplanes, you can lose an engine and
right.
still be okay.
Most of the time.
Sometimes.
Depends if it's a single engine.
With the gradual popularization of low-altitude flights,
right.
this type of air taxi will become widespread. It will become a daily mode of
transportation
and lifestyle to enjoy.
It takes off and lands vertically, no runway required.
That part's cool.
And in this case, no pilot. That means I can try it myself.
Oh, darn it. I was just looking for a picture of it.
The interior is simple. 2 seats and a navigation screen. The route is pre-programmed.
And you see that? See the rotors?
Yeah, above, below.
Right. So if you lose the one, so if you lose
side,
one
side.
above, then you have the one above, the one below. That's the idea. If you use 2 on the same spot, that could be probably more of a problem. I don't know. You may have to land right away.
Nice. It can go 90 kilometers an hour, which is about 55, 56 miles an hour, which is not too bad.
Yeah. And then, going straight here in LA, you would get past all the traffic because the traffic is awful here in LA. It's hard to get anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, unless you're here like 12 o'clock after 12. If you're one of these,
early
morning, like
early
ridiculously early morning kind
3,
of people.
4, 5.
Right. Then you can get around everywhere real nice. And it's nice, wonderful. Other than the darkness, you can get around in LA. But otherwise, when nothing's open.
It's probably better.
How useless is that?
Kobe took the helicopter, and that didn't do him any favors in a cloudy, foggy day.
Come on. But Kobe's pilot made the wrong move.
Yeah.
That was Kobe's problem. And I guess I don't know, his pilot should have just said
safety first.
Okay. 9 out of 10 times we can go, you know what I mean, 99% of the time. You have to be
1%'s a big
that
risk.
That 1%, you got to go and say, no, we can't do it. This is that one time we just can't make it, man. I wonder, did he just have a problem? I wonder, did that pilot just have a problem with that? Saying that or what? Because I don't know.
The airspace is going to have to get more and more controlled, though.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I remember he was like, we had that clip about the AI. AI controls being added to traffic control. That's where that would be. Anyway, AI being added to the traffic control. Yeah, AI being added to the traffic control, and then more and more taking over.
Yeah.
And also DEI is not helping that.
In that they are not as trustworthy of.
Well, I mean, the more
controllers.
if you have if you have more people making mistakes, then they're more likely to want to bring in some AI stuff to take over, just like the burger flipping place when stuff gets too expensive.
True.
And if you start having flying cars, then there's just going to be too much traffic for people to deal with. So you'll have AI dealing with it.
And people want to go any old time. They're not going to want to wait for a schedule.
Right. But it'll be too much stuff, man.
Yeah.
It'll be like, imagine they were just flying cars all over the place.
That's chaos.
Yeah, but I mean, even in a place like LA, I mean, you could. First of all, it wouldn't be controlled by people. That's for sure. It'd have to be controlled by some system, some AI, something. It'd be on some kind of autopilot that gets you from one area to the other, and be automatically controlled.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, people be running into each other up in the sky and falling out of the sky all the time.
So you're advocating for mass surveillance and control.
I think it probably comes in. It comes with it. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Wow, but it could be the control is more built in rather than built into the car,
Yeah,
rather
sensors and
than
things.
some central control thing. Because actually, the central control thing is actually kind of dangerous. That's where your AI goes and takes over and
Hacks
figures,
it.
let's have everything run into each other instead of avoid each other. Then maybe gets a different idea.
I feel like there's bound to be disasters either way.
Yeah, maybe. There's got to be some kind of disaster somewhere. That's for sure. Yeah, something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
There's not going to be. AI has all these kinds of. There's all this stuff that can go wrong, and the stuff that goes wrong could be so bad. It could be so bad. But anyway, we're living in. I think that's it, man. I think we've had it. I think that's about it today, folks. I've got, the COVID thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens with COVID. COVID's still a noose around our necks after, 5 years at this point. Yeah. Anyway, folks, that's it. And that's it, James. Nice. That's our producer. And I'll see you all later. See you next week, folks. Bye.
Punchie TV.